Hey there everybody, Mazrock here, and today I want to go over my 9.0 Shadowlands Demonology Guide. Now, I'm not going to go over the soul conduits as much. I did put a video out on that. I'll leave the link in the doobly-doo below. Aside from that, as you can see by looking around, I am part of the Night Fae Covenant because it works so well with Affliction Warlock, but it also works very, very well with Demonology. And the reason why is Soul Rot. So we go over to Soul Rot. It's dot, deals a bunch of damage, but when you go over to the Naya, now I run Karain here because I'm tired. I just don't have the energy slots to be swapping them all over the place. But you should be running Naya if you're planning on maining Demonology. Now, the reason why is so good is this right here is for every stack that you get from just dealing damage, you get this Grove Invigoration. You get a stack of 25 Mastery. Now, if you cast Soul Rot, you immediately gain 8 stacks. They overlap, but they're not refreshing. So what happens is once one starts, it runs its course, but you can have multiple stacks. So this is an ongoing buff. Mastery increases your demon's damage. It all works really, really nice together. So if you are running Demonology, do run Naya if you're maining it. Aside from that, it's an off spec for me. I have a lot of fun with it. So I've been running Karain. But once I hit Renown 34, I'm probably going to swap over to Dreamweaver just because of that nice 12% haste buff. But right now, it's going to be Karain. So Wild Hunt, 75% damage. 75% damage now. 10% damage to enemies above 75% health. The two conduits you want to use are Born of Blood and Fell Commando for most of your scenarios. I do have a soul conduit guide already for Demo. Go check that out down below if you want to hear more about this. But that's kind of the general way to go. Talents. Now, with talents, I've tested out a few talent builds. This has been my most common, my most fun, and the one I enjoy the most. So it's Demonic Strength, big AoE from your Felguard once per minute. It's basically a Warrior's Blade Storm, but you don't have to be in the fray. Really, really nice to have. Demonic Calling, Shadow Bolt and Demon Bolt have a 20% chance to make your next Call Dreadstalkers cost no soul shards and instant cast. Really, really nice and works very well synergistically with the build. This is kind of a your choice scenario. I prefer Demon Skin, but Burning Rush does have its utility. I basically avoid Dark Pact. It's just not needed for me. By the time this is needed, I'm probably already so much up the crapshoot it don't matter. Summon Vile Fiend has been my go-to. 45-second cooldown, and it summons a big Vile Fiend that goes off and fight. Demonology. You summon a bunch of demons. Mortal Coil, 20% health heal. Instant GCD. Just so good to have. I know it's the least amount of CC out of the options. So Dark Fury, you gain a lot more stun. Howl of Terror, you can hit a lot more targets. But Mortal Coil heals. And that's what matters. And it's usable in raid bosses. Even if the Horrified effect doesn't go off, you still get that heal. So super, super good to have. I've been running Grimoire Felguard, because that's where I've been having the most amount of fun, and Demonic Consumption. Now, this Demonic Consumption is the reason why these two get picked and are priority, because Demonic Consumption is your Demonic Commander, the Tyrant, now drains 15% of the life from your Demon Servants to empower itself. Well, the more demons that you have out, the more imps you have out, the more Vile Fiends, Call Dreadstalkers, everything that you have out, the more that gets boosted. So what you want to do is Call Dreadstalkers, Vile Fiend, Call Dreadstalkers, get your Grimoire out, get your Tyrant out, and then just start imp spamming. So working that system and working that way. Now, Demonology is a much more reactive spec than, let's say, one like Affliction. So I'm just going to kind of move over to the talent here. So we're going to go on over. So with Affliction, you kind of, like I said in the last video, you have to pre-plan a lot of what you do. You kind of have to know when your cooldowns are. What happens with Demonology is you don't have that option because it's much more reactive. So you get your Grimoire out, you get your Tyrant out. And when you do your Tyrant as well, you also gain 5 soul shards. So you want to plan around that. So as you saw there, I had come out is Demonic Core proc, get another Tyrant out, and when I get another Demonic Core. So there my Call of Dreadstalkers procced. There we go. So Demonic Core instantly makes your a Demon Bolt cast instantly and refund 2 shards. So this is where it becomes reactive, because you want to be going with those shards, the Demonic Cores, to be trying to get those 3 shards to get 3 Hand of Gul'dans, which will summon 3 imps. That's kind of the whole play, really. It's a lot of that. When you get into the thick of it and into the momentum and the rhythm, it is more of a reactive spec, like I said, but it is so much fun to play. And now, unfortunately, in the higher end, in the, like 8+ Mythic Pluses, and the higher end rating, it really falls off to Affliction and even Destruction. We have a Destruction Warlock in our guild that raids with us on Sundays. Not on Sundays. He raids with us all the time. All right, we felt that 5% damage buff on Destro last night. We absolutely did. And but he's been doing solid damage the entire time, and in normal that was fine. In normal Castellanathria, not a problem. Demo kept up. Unfortunately, once you hit heroic, Demo really felt a step down. It really got hit a little bit harder than what it had to. So that's kind of the thing there. Now with Demonology, so if you've never played a Warlock class, you do have a lot of utility at your disposal. You have Demon Gates that your whole party can take. Super fantastic for raid. There is the Portal, which again, pre-planning, you set out, but you have a way back quickly to where you need to be every 30 seconds. You of course have your cookies, which are fantastic raid options for you to be giving out to all of your raid friends. All around, I really like it. I run Demo for Torghast. If you see my videos, I'm always running Demo for Torghast. I find the Anima powers, the Phantasma powers, or Anima powers, whatever they are, work so incredibly well with Demo, well over the other Warlock specs, and I hit 147k on floor 8 the other day. Just got all the right powers at all the right times, and it just went crazy well. So if you want to see me run Demonology more, come by the Saturday streams. I'm working my way through Twisting Corridor slowly, finding the motivation to do it because I want that Maw mount. But again, the mounts are the Torghast is not exactly the most fun thing in the world, but you need the Legos, and I want the Maw mount so I can finally mount in the Maw. But that's what it is. So come on by on Saturdays. Aside from that, I stream on Twitch Tuesdays and Thursdays as well. Come on by, check that out, and D&D on Sundays. Links are down in the doobly-doo. That is the basic how-to of Demonology. If you're running baby keys, if you're thinking about getting into M+, and you haven't really done much, try Demonology. It is a lot easier and requires a lot less setup than Affliction to kind of get going and have a lot of fun with. And works really well with pacing with other high DPS classes. So if you're with a Fire Mage or something like that, there's a lot less ramp up. You're going to be able to do more damage. I find when I'm running an Affliction with a Fire Mage, especially on a lower key, like let's say I'm doing a +4 or 5 to help out some guildies, like what am I even doing there? By the time I'm set up, everything's dead. So my damage is in the dumps, versus at least with Demonology, I can boost that up a little bit higher. So lower keys I have a lot of fun with. If you're planning on raiding normal Nyalotha, again, Demonology is a lot of fun there too. I had a lot of fun running a normal Naya. Now for legendaries, Relic of Demonic Synergy, super solid option to have across the board, so that doesn't matter whether you're running Affliction or Demo, or even Destruction, although it's not the best for Destruction. Now another fun one to have if you really like having a lot of imps is the Horn Shoulder Pads of Nightmares. It doesn't have to be shoulder pads. I made them shoulders. But Hand of Gul'dan has a 15% chance to cast a second time on your target for free. And this replicates how many soul shards you put in it. So if you put 3 soul shards into your Hand of Gul'dan, you'll have a 15% chance to gain another 3 imps, which is your main imp spawner. So it works really well. It's a lot of fun. Again, Demonology just falls off on the higher end. I'm really surprised it did not get a buff with the recent class buffs that a lot of people got. Like, Warrior Fury and Arms just got a buff. Frost Mages, Frost EKs, a bunch of classes just got a buff, and Demonology was kind of left out in the wind. And I really hope that's not because of their performance in Torghast, because in Torghast they are so much fun, it's wild. But in rating right now, and higher in rating, higher in mythics, they're just not performing to the level that Affliction is, which is not a complaint on Affliction. Please don't nerf Affliction, just make Demo better. So that is my Demo guide for 9.0. I hope you guys are having as much fun in the Shadowlands as I am. Check out my links in the doobly-doo if you have any questions, concerns. Did I miss something on Demonology that should be absolutely covered? There is a dogs build that I'm not going to cover because I haven't tested it. We do have a Warlock in our guild that did test it, and he's using it to great effect. Although exactly how to work that dogs build, I haven't figured out because I don't have the legendary. That's the thing. I don't have the legendary to put all that together, and unfortunately there's almost only so much soul ash in the game, and I'm starting to learn get the legendaries ready for destruction so I can start giving you guys guides on destruction builds and things like that, because destruction is pretty solid right now. I know it's in the shadow of Affliction, but like I said, we have a destruction warlock in our guild that is just pumping some crazy damage, and that 5% buff that they just got, we felt it. We felt it. That damage definitely got ramped up. So that is my Demonology build. I hope you guys are having a good time. Thank you very much for watching the whole video, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.